guys, Wisteria Moon here, and today I'm going to be explaining to you how to make a successful YouTube channel using techniques that I've learned from my own YouTube experience as well as techniques from other YouTubers. My hope is that you might be able to use these tips and maybe have successful YouTube channels yourselves. Please be sure to watch the whole entire video through so that you get all of the helpful tips, and I hope you enjoy. One of the most important steps to having a successful YouTube channel is having good content, which of course means having good videos. It's hard exactly to say what makes a video good, but you can kind of get a rough idea by looking around at some of the most popular Animal Jam videos. The most successful Animal Jam videos are accessible to a wide variety of people. For example, Types of Jammers is a video series started by Liberty AJ, which has become popular among tons of people. And the reason why that was successful is because it applies to basically everyone. We all have that moment where we look at that person in town who's like sitting on the bridge looking all rare and above everyone else, and we're just like, wow, they're ridiculous. And so when you make a video that makes fun of that, it's relatable to everyone, and that's what makes it popular. So a good video should definitely have some kind of pop culture reference or some kind of game reference that everyone understands. Some unsuccessful types of videos are videos like, report Fluffy Bunny 123574 for scamming my worn blanket. You know, like videos like that are not going to get a lot of views. You can't make it too specific, or, you don't want to make a video about like some kind of friend drama or something like that, because no one will really get it. You have to make a video that everyone will understand in order for it to be successful. When you're starting out and you're not exactly sure what kind of video to do, I would say the best path to follow is trying to do some update videos, maybe like skits or something creative. Maybe you can do parodies, because humor is always a great way to go. You can also try something more on the creative side, like making your own short film or a music video. These are kind of harder to get views with, but I think if you put the time and effort in and market it in the right way, you could definitely get a lot of views on this. A good video should also be a decent length. Now, you don't want to make it too short because people are probably going to think that a 1 or 2 minute long video is pointless, but the 5 to 10 minute range seems to be the best for kids' short attention spans. I mean, anything past that, it's kind of like people might skip through it a little bit, and especially if it's like half an hour long. Now, of course, if you're doing a live stream, that's one thing, but usually you're going to want to keep your videos in the 5 to 10 minute range so that it's sufficient enough content, but it doesn't get boring. You're also going to want to make sure that your video is exciting in the way it's presented. The most successful types of videos include people's voices, like people talking, or sometimes IRL videos, or videos in which people show their faces. But of course, you sometimes can get away with typing, but it's not very exciting to just listen to someone's keyboard as they're typing and then see the words pop up on the Animal Jam screen. It takes up a lot more time, and it's also just a lot easier to listen to someone talk. Another thing that really improves your video quality is having music in the background. Now, this can be kind of difficult because a lot of music is copyrighted, but there are a lot of music libraries that you can visit that are not copyrighted. And also, if you go into the Creator Studio on YouTube, there is a music library built in, and also an option that lets you see whether or not the song you want to use is copyrighted. Just try to make sure that the music you put in is at a good volume so that you can hear both you talking and the music itself. Finally, one of the most important steps to making a good video is to edit it well. Editing can be really tricky for a lot of people because not everyone is tech savvy, and if you know nothing about video editing, it can be really difficult starting out. But I'm going to give you a brief overview of some editing programs you can use, and screen recording programs, of course. So first of all, you're going to have to learn the difference between screen recording and video editing. To screen record is to basically record everything that's happening on your screen. This allows you to record the Animal Jam screen as a video and also your voice along with it, so then you can edit it later. Now, editing programs allow you to trim the footage that you screen recorded it with. Most screen recorders and video editors are separate, so I'm going to list you some of the best programs for each. If you have a Mac computer, You don't really need to worry about getting any outside programs because QuickTime Player is a default program on Mac computers, and that is a built-in screen recorder. So all you have to do is open that up, begin your screen recording, and of course Macs also come with mics and cameras. So all you have to do is just press start recording and then you're good to go. If you have a Mac, it also comes with iMovie, which is a pretty decent video editor. It will allow you to trim your clips and do some basic titling effects so that your videos will be looking nice and clean and professional. I can't get into how to use these programs, unfortunately. I might do tutorials on them later, but if you're not sure how to use them, try looking up on YouTube how to use QuickTime Player or how to use iMovie. And hopefully, if they're like step-by-step enough, they should give you a rough idea of how to use them. So yes, basically, if you have a Mac computer, you should be all set with everything because there's a built-in mic, there are built-in programs, and you're good to go. If you have a PC, things can be a little more complicated because you're going to have to find an outside video recorder and video editor, which means you're going to have to download them. I will say that you should get a parent's permission before downloading any programs, but you know, just make sure that you're being safe about it, and yeah. If you're looking for a simple screen recorder, I would recommend HyperCam 2 because it's a little bit advanced, but it doesn't have a watermark and it's pretty easy to use once you get to know it. If you're looking for something a little bit more simple, try Screencast-O-Matic. It does have a watermark, but it might be a little bit more simple if you're just starting out. You can always use Windows Movie Maker as your video editor, although I will say it doesn't exactly have as great of a quality. You can't really do as much with it, it's kind of basic, but I guess when you're starting out, that might be the program to go with. It does come with most PCs, not all of them, but you know, if you have it on your computer starting out, you might want to use that instead of downloading an outside video editor. However, if you don't have Windows Movie Maker or you think you need something a little bit more advanced, I would recommend getting Camtasia. Camtasia is actually a video editor, but it does have a screen recorder built into it, so you might just want to do that instead of getting HyperCam or Screencast-O-Matic, depending on how you feel, of course. But Camtasia is pretty simple, it's pretty inexpensive, you can also get a free trial for it. It is a little bit more basic, but you know, it works. It definitely is better than Movie Maker, and it will be pretty good starting out. If you get to the point where you feel like you have a good handle on video editing, then I would recommend moving up to a program called Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas is a very advanced Windows program, and it allows you to edit really great videos. You can green screen, add special effects. It's actually quite amazing. There have been a lot of really incredible Animal Jam music videos that have been made with that program, and I believe it also comes with a free trial. I also should briefly mention that if you're looking for something more advanced than iMovie on a Mac, Final Cut Pro is a good program to go with, and I also should mention that Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects are both programs that work on Macs and Windows computers, and they are pretty fantastic editors. They are quite pricey, but if you're feeling really pro at editing, I would maybe try those out. That's enough about video editors for now. I will most likely be doing a more in-depth tutorial about video editors and screen recorders because there is a lot to cover in that regard. But I just wanted to provide you with a little overview in case, you know, you are just starting out and are really desperate for some good programs. So that's about it for content. Now it's time to move on to the next step to making a successful channel. Now, promotion is arguably the most important step to having a successful YouTube channel. Because you could have the most amazing videos anyone has ever seen, but if you don't know how to promote yourself, no one's ever going to notice them. Sometimes you can even have really terrible videos, but if you promote yourself well, you can get a lot of subscribers and views. So what I mean by promotion is basically you have to sell yourself. You have to get out there and make sure that people know who you are. There are a lot of ways to do this. One way is having catchy video titles. Basically, when people are searching for Animal Jam videos, they're using keywords. So for example, if you have an update video, it's really important that you include the word update in the title, and if you want to emphasize it even more, you can put it in bold. You also want to make sure that every Animal Jam video has the word Animal Jam in it, because this increases the probability that it'll come up when people search for Animal Jam videos. You essentially want to highlight or make clear all the really specific things that people will search for. So it's kind of hard to give advice on how to title your videos, because it really all depends on what kind of video you're doing. But basically, the things that people are going to search for, that's what you have to take into consideration when you're making your titles, not so much the content itself. So if you're doing a trading video, try not to say trading with this person and name their username. Try to say trading for and then name the rare item. And it especially helps if you include rare or beta in the name, because people are going to be searching a lot for rares and betas. Another really great way to help your video come up in searches is to put in video tags. So every time you upload a video, there's a little section below that says tags. And basically what you do is enter keywords that are related to your video, and then when people search those words, your video pops up. Important tags to include are Animal Jam, your channel name, and anything else that's even vaguely related to your video. You want to have as many tags as possible, because that increases your chance of your video showing up when people search all those different words. Another really great way to promote your channel is by using custom thumbnails. Custom thumbnails don't really seem that important because it's basically just putting a picture to your video, but a lot of people judge the video content based on simply the picture that they see when they, are looking at your video come up at their sidebar. Chances are people are going to pick the video with a lot more sparkles and color and rainbow and stuff in the thumbnail than one that's just a blank Animal Jam screen with black bars at the side. Custom thumbnails can be tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty worth it. To edit custom thumbnails, just go to the website picmonkey.com. Actually, I have done a tutorial on how to edit custom thumbnails, so I suppose I'll link that in the video now. But yeah, picmonkey.com is definitely the website that I'd recommend, because you don't have to pay for anything. You can just import your pictures and get really creative with it, and it doesn't take a lot of time or effort. There's a lot of nice overlays, and it's just a great program to make your thumbnails look nice. Another way to promote your channel is by getting yourself out there. And this is kind of a really tricky step, but once you do, trust me, it's very rewarding. So different ways of getting yourself out there include collabing with other YouTubers. If you can by any chance be in a video with a person with more subscribers or views than you, that's always helpful. Or if you can get someone to shout you out, that works too. Shoutouts are kind of hard to earn, but if you gift people or make art for them or just do something special for them, that's definitely a good way of getting a shout out. You're also going to want to connect to people a lot. It's always helpful to make a lot of friends, because that helps the word get around about you, I guess. Making friends can be kind of hard if you're antisocial, but trust me, it works out very well, especially if you can make friends that are more popular than you. Another really great way to expose yourself is by commenting on other famous people's videos. It might seem a little bit shallow, but if you can come up with some kind of witty comment that becomes the top comment on someone's video, then chances are people are going to click your channel and kind of wonder about you. So always try to make really nice comments that are really, well, they could be relevant to the video you're commenting on, or they might not be, but if one of your comments is noticed on a really popular video, that can be really helpful and bring a lot of exposure to your channel. So yeah, make sure that you comment on a lot of videos and try to make it something relevant or interesting so that you'll stand out from other people. Finally, it's always helpful to reply to people when they comment on your channel or when you get attention. Although I have to say, try to do this in moderation, because if you reply to every single commenter, you kind of look a little desperate, not to be offensive. But you want to have a healthy amount of replies. You want to make sure that your fans know that you're engaged, but you also don't want to look like a no-life who's obsessed with comments. So all of those are the best ways that I know to promote yourself. If you follow all these steps, chances are your channel will be incredibly successful. Finally, you're going to want to be professional, and I feel like this is the step that most people end up struggling with, because a lot of people that try to start channels are, just kids, and professionality is not one of the things that we think of when we think of Animal Jam YouTubing, but it is very important. So what is being professional exactly? Well, for one thing, it means having good channel art. Having good channel art is extremely important, because a lot of people judge your channel based on that. Visual elements really attract a lot of attention, so if you have a good channel icon or good channel art, that's going to draw a lot of people in. Having a good channel trailer is also really important because when people click your channel, this is one of the first things they notice, and they want to see like what your channel is about. In your channel trailer, you should make sure to promote all the things that your channel has, but also make it really exciting. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with maybe even making it more exciting than it actually is. Having a good video intro and outro is also extremely important. When people click on their videos, your intro and outro are kind of like your signature. That's gonna let everyone know that that is your video. And the better your intro and outro are, the more attracted that people will be to your videos, and yes, it is very important. You are also going to want to spell things right. This can be a challenge for a lot of you, I know. But if you're going to have a channel, make sure that you just spelling is pretty basic, guys. I mean, if people are looking to your channel and you're using a bunch of weird words and not capitalizing stuff or using good grammar, people are just gonna write you off and think, wow, that's just a kid. I don't know, it's always good to have your channel look neat and to make sure that everything is spelled correctly and looking spiffy. Uploading consistently is also very important, and this is one of the things that I've kind of slacked on, I will admit. But uploading consistently, just something about that just really solidifies your audience. When people know when your videos are going to come, it just kind of secures them, and it stops people from unsubscribing or forgetting to check in with your channel. The more consistently you upload, the better chances you have of getting views on all of your videos when you release them. Having long periods of deadness is just terrible. It just completely ruins your viewership. So definitely make sure that you upload consistently. I think 3 to 4 videos a week is a good amount, but you know, even every day works. I mean, once a week is a little bit, it's kind of pushing it, but definitely do not have 2 or more weeks in between each video that you upload. You're also going to want to make sure that you have a really good channel name. Channel names don't really seem like a big deal at first, but just think about it this way. Which channels do you remember the most? It's always the ones with the simple, neat names. You're not going to want to have a channel that has a bunch of numbers in it because no one's going to remember all those numbers. The best channel names are just 1 or 2 words, and they're very short and easy to remember and catchy. It's also really helpful if your channel name is the same as your Animal Jam username, because it kind of helps when your Animal Jam fame and your YouTube fame are interconnected. So, you know, for example, I named my account Wisteria Moon and my channel Wisteria Moon AJ. So this helps people viewing my channel to find me on Animal Jam and people on Animal Jam to find me on YouTube. Having a main look also helps, but that doesn't necessarily matter too much, but it just helps to solidify people's ability to identify you. Another thing that helps is just to be organized in general. Having playlists is a good method of organizing your channel because then people can, you know, find a group of your videos and just watch them, almost like binge watching a show on Netflix. You know, it's kind of nice. You're going to want to have all your social media links in order. So for example, if you have an Instagram page that corresponds with your YouTube page, definitely make sure that there's a link to that on your channel. And it's also very important to have other people on your featured channels list because this allows them to feature you back, and it's basically a nice exchange, you know? You get to have people feature you, you get to feature them back, and it works out very well. Lastly, an important step to being professional is having a good attitude. In fact, a good attitude is one of the most important things you can have, because if people are subscribing to you, they're also kind of subscribing for you, not just your content. You're going to want to make sure that people like you. Try to be nice, especially to fans. It's always good to make people feel appreciated, and if you do that, it also saves you from getting a lot of hate. Hate is one of the hardest things to deal with if you do end up having a successful channel, but as long as you maintain a positive, happy attitude, then there's not really much people can say about you. There's always going to be a couple of haters, but having a good attitude stops most of that from happening. Along with having a good attitude, you want to maintain a professional attitude too. Try not to involve your personal drama with your videos because that can cause a lot of controversy. So those are essentially all the steps I could think of to being professional, and now I'm just going to add in a couple of notes. So before I wrap this video up, I'm just going to say a couple of things. First of all, don't get too preoccupied with subscribers, because if you are looking to make money off of YouTube someday, which, some people feel is controversial, but in my opinion, that is totally acceptable. And if you want to make money off your videos someday, don't get too caught up with subscribers, because you don't actually make money from subscribers, you make money from views. You want to make sure that you have a good fan base, but you also don't want to get too, I don't know what the word is. I guess what I'm trying to say is subscribers aren't everything. You have to have a lot of views too. You want to make sure that people are watching your video, not just subscribing and then doing nothing. So try to look for ways that you can engage viewership rather than subscriber amounts, because I know a lot of people get really caught up with subscribers. They're like, oh, giveaway for 1K, etc. But then when you look at their videos, they really don't have a whole lot of views. So try to make sure that you concentrate more on the views, because this will eventually give you a tighter audience in the end. And views lead to subscribers more so than subscribers lead to views, if that makes any sense. Finally, it's important to be conscious that you do have two different audiences in a sense. And what I mean by this is some of your views come from your subscribers, but some of your views come from random people clicking into a particular video. So you want to make sure that you have videos that appeal to both. For example, having a 20K subscribers party, that is something that appeals to your subscribers, but some kind of random viewer that visits your channel is most likely not going to be interested in something like that. So you want to make sure that you have videos that appeal to outside audiences too. That's about all the tips that I have for you today, guys. Hopefully these will help you in creating your own YouTube video, and if there's anything you can think of that you want me to go in depth in, feel free to comment below. Any opinions on the content in this video will be greatly appreciated. I am looking forward greatly to seeing your comments and thoughts, and hopefully this will give me a little bit more direction as to what tutorials to make in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.